Hello friends and welcome to another vlog. We are in the final round of trimming and we are, well, let's be real here, we're in the final round of trimming of the stupid overskirt, which has taken me forever, but I am doing the train tracks this week, so that's very exciting. Also exciting is that this vlog is sponsored by Acorn once again, so we'll talk about that in just a little while, but for right now, I'm gonna get going on this train track trip. So the last part of the trim I want to work on is these disappearing ties, which I want to put train tracks on. So I'm gonna go figure out how to do that. Okay, so here's what happened. I made tubes, as you can see here, and then I just pinked the edge and tucked it under and ironed it. I originally had it like this, but I talked to people and they were like, no, the track part needs to go on top, which totally changes how I'm going to sew these on, because it was kind of like I was going to do these lines first and then put these on, but now I have to do all the bars first. So I think I'm just going to make more bars and get cracking with this. For those of you who want to know how this was done, I just cut a 1-inch strip, I folded it in half, and I did not press it. I pinned it, and then I sewed down at a 1/4 inch, so that leaves you a 1/4 inch of actual space and a 1/4 inch of like salvage edge. And then I pinked it, and then I folded it over like this and ironed it down, and that's all this is. And essentially I'm just tucking the edges under, and then I'm gonna applique these guys on first. I gotta figure out a measuring system that I'm gonna use here, so that is what is happening this week. I'm doing a lot of applique. Okay, so this guy is exactly 5 inches wide, and these are exactly 4 inches wide. They need to be repressed though. At least these ones. I haven't finished making a ton of them, but they are all 4 inches. So essentially there's a 1/2 inch on each side. It's a lot easier to lay them down when there's already a long track, but since the long tracks go on top, that's not what's gonna go down. So I had to figure out a way to lay them out evenly. So I think what I'm gonna do is take some of this masking tape. I'm gonna dull it down a little bit by taping it to myself first, and then tape it at a 1/2 inch down each side so that I have a 4-inch gap. So that like tells me exactly how far to lay them in, which is a good measurement. And then I think I'm gonna put them a 1/2 inch apart from each other. The thing about them is that when you pin them, they start wrinkling. Like you can already see this one got wrinkled from being pinned, and that's not ideal. So I think I might also use this tape and cut thin strips and tape it down, and then sew under the tape when I'm appliquing on, sort of, so that there's no wrinkling of what the situation is. Someone actually suggested using like fabric glue, like spraying it on and then just sticking it on, and I was like, oh, that's sort of genius, but also I'm not ready for that. This is a little bit reversible, so I'm gonna try this method. I'm pointing at this thing like you can actually see it when it's not on camera. God, I suck at being a vlogger, guys. Okay. Here, that's better. Now it's all in frame. So that's what I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna see if this method works. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, I'll come show you what else I tried. Okay, this looks like it's working. I made tiny little marks with this tiny little chalk pencil that my friend Hannah recommended to me. It is by Bohn, B-O-H-N. You can get them on Amazon, and it is in fact like a mechanical pencil, except it's chalk. This is down in my Amazon store should you want one, or you can just look it up yourself, depending on if you want to give me 4 cents, because that's what I'll get. So I did try these, but A, they're too fat, and B, they don't clip long enough, and you couldn't sew over them. Like this, I'm pretty sure I can take a stitch here, sew under this, and take a stitch here, and then remove it, and it would be fine. So this is looking good. I'm feeling solid about it. It's just literally masking tape, which I stuck to my belly here to like get a bunch of cat hair on it so that it would be not so sticky. I'm also not going to leave this on for very long. I'm going to try to get all these on and stitch this down as soon as friggin' possible. So that's my MO for right now. So I'm going to take one of these and cut it up into these things and do all that kind of work, which just involves cutting it into like folding over the edge, as you can see here, and then cutting it, and I just essentially measure it over the edge of this. So I put it down 4 inches, like the end of it's down, and then I pull it up to here and I wrap it around and I hold that, I cut it, and then I iron that. So it's exactly 4 inches basically, which seems to be working out. So I'm gonna continue on this path and see if I can get these all laid out, and then there'll be lots of sewing. Okay, so these are all down. Choo choo. That last one looks weird. It's just puffy something. I don't know. It'll be fine. Anyway, I'm gonna stitch these down now. I haven't really figured that out because I think I need to also again go between the material because this is 2 layers and I don't really want to have a bunch of stuff on the back of this. So gonna figure that out now. Fun times. I don't have like regret, but I'm not gonna say I don't have regret. Like, sewing each one of these down sucks because I have to like turn this whole thing around while like the butt brain is there while I'm doing it. Ugh, what a pain. It's gonna look bomb when it's like finished, but I think those look great so far. And they'll look even better once they're ironed down and the other one's on top and this tape is gone and blah blah blah. But like, I've done what, 6? It's been hours. Sigh. Okay, so I have all of them but 6 done, so I am gonna give up and go to sleep tonight, and I will finish this up tomorrow and put the tracks on, since we have all the cross beams on, and then this one will be done, and then I have to do another one. Fun times, but I think it'll look cool, so. We're talking to Peggy on the phone, surprise, surprise. And we have done all of the, Peggy tells me that these things are called ties, and these are called tracks or rails, and tracks and rails are the same. So anyway, I have laid down the rails, and I'm about to sew those down. Damn, did this take a long time. Whew, this is some applique hell, peeps, but it should look boss, so I'm excited. Okay, I'm gonna go do that, and I'll be back. Okay, I have one done and I'm super hype about it, but I think that took me like an hour. Peggy, do we think that was an hour that I just sewed that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're also talking.
Yeah, to be fair. That should not have taken an hour. Well, I'm going to time the next one. All right, Peggy and I have been on another 4-hour call so far, but we have one rail in. I'm into it. We're discussing how, because it's shot fabric, this way looks really yellow and this way looks really orange, but neither of us seem to mind that. So there'll be another one. I have to do one more of these right there, but this is the way it looks so far with this. Hello, it is new day. Oh, I do like how that looks back there. I'm glad that's in my background. So it's a new day and it's a brand new day. So I need to make more of this. I need to make at least one more, no big deal, but I also need to make probably, actually I think I need to make like 8 inches more. I don't know. I might just make 2 of these. We'll see. I think it's probably easier just to make 2, so I'm just gonna make 2 because it's the idea. Why not? Then I'll just know that I have enough and that will be fine. What did I start out with? 3 and I used 2 and like 4 inches of this, so again. Anyway. I do not want to let this vlog pass looking perky and cheery without mentioning RBG, because homegirl, rip. That's what I have to say about that. That is a tremendous loss to our country, and as you can imagine, I think this is an understatement of a sentiment that I'm giving to you right now. Every time I think about it too hard, I start like crying, and it's so sad that an 80-whatever-year-old woman couldn't just frickin' retire, live out the last few of her years of her life being awesome and feeling successful for all the things she did in the world, but she had to like force herself to stay on the bench, and like her dying thoughts were probably guilt about how she couldn't hang on until after the election. So I feel real bad about that. I feel real bad about our system, that's what we've come to, but we'll see what happens. So that's what I'm going to say about that for right now. But yeah, it's a sad, sad week for that. For those of you who are watching in the future, this is the week that RBG died. So I'm going to show you some things that have shown up in the mail for the last few days because I've been stitching away and not really showing that, so let's do that. Okay, so here we have 2 more housewife kits from Willoughby and Rose. This one is Luna, and it came back in stock a while ago, but it was for like pre-order because she needed one of the fabrics, and so she got it, and so I'm hype on that. This is what you get the instructions in every kit, and then this is just the simple kit that just has like the basic stuff you need, but you have to provide your own like needle and thread and all that kind of stuff, which obviously I have. And this one is Hedge Witch, and I love them both and I think they're awesome. Not gonna lie, I have many kits and I think one of my, more than one of my videos is probably gonna be me like powering through kits. I am actually stockpiling these because I am going to make them for people for Christmas. So that is why I have, like, nobody needs this many housewives, let's all be honest, but I think it's fun to give people gifts for Christmas, both the kit itself or made. So I'm going to make them for them so that they don't have to have a kit sitting around not being made. They can actually use the thing. I got a pin from Dandy Wellington, which looks like Dandy Wellington, so I'm excited to put him up on my board. He is a friend of mine, and I think he's a fantastic human being. He has a YouTube channel. I will link that down below if you would like to go visit him and watch his videos. He does style videos for vintage male and female clothes, but also he's a jazz singer, and he's amazing. By the way, I will also link these Willoughby and Rose kits. I mean, you guys know how much I love Kate. So her kits come in and out of stock like really often, actually, like every few weeks to month or so. She restocks these guys and they sell out like way faster than she's expecting every time. So she's always like, wait, what? So she does say on her channel to just keep checking back because, you know, they come back and then they sell out quickly, and keep an eye on her Instagram. And then I got a beautiful postcard from my friend Carla of Tiny Angry Crafts. She is also super awesome. I will also link her down below if you'd like to go check out her channel and Instagram. She's really cool. She was in the inclusion in costuming panel that I did at COVID, and if for those of you who haven't seen that, I will link it down below. Defo good watch. Like, if you want to learn how to be a better human, that's a good panel to watch. Okay, what do I have this linen thing out here? So I was learning the magic, like, I don't know what this is called. I think it's like a ladder stitch or something. Rolled hem technique that Jess taught in my COVID video with her on making 18th century mitts. She taught how to do this like you make this ladder stitch and then you pull it and magically this hem just randomly appears. Not randomly, it's science. But you get this teeny tiny little hem, which is fantastic. So I was practicing it while I was on the phone last night, and it is in fact a thing that works. So I'm real hype on this, and that makes really small hems very easily possible. So especially on linen. This is my like random, I call it my pressing cloth because I use it for that, but it's just a random scrap of linen. Anyway, okay, I've avoided making these strips long enough, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. Let's find a spot for Dandy. Dandy can go right here. Dandy, you live on my wall now. Okie dokie. There's 18 of these reels on here, and I've done 13 of them. It's like 2:30 in the morning though, and I'm super tired and don't want to do this anymore, and my hands hurt. And I've been working on this for hours and hours and hours. So I'm gonna stop and finish this up tomorrow, which is exciting, and maybe we'll have some chats while we do that stitching. I cannot wait, because once this is done, I'm calling this skirt done. Shh, don't tell anyone the closure's not on yet. Okay, we have all of these guys down. I did a few of them while I was talking to my girlfriend today on our weekly chat. So I'm pretty hyped that this is done. I just need to put these 2 rails on, and then we're done, and a week's worth of work. A week, people. I mean, I'm not working like a 60-hour week or anything, but like, damn. So, yeah. Hello. I thought I would do some chats while I sew, although I don't have a whole lot to talk about this week. It's been fairly chill here, which is good. The air is starting to clear, although, I don't know, the thing says your, I don't know, whatever that number is, the bits per inch or whatever that they have, microns per, I don't know, whatever that number is that tells you how healthy or unhealthy the air is. It says that we're at like 49 right now, and that the air is good. But then I look outside and I'm like, I can't see the hills on the other side of this valley right now. Is that good? Is it? Is it good? But I can tell you my allergies have been going absolutely crazy recently, which, I mean, part of it is because I've been pretty not great about taking my daily allergy pill. I have had 3 rounds of shots, but in those shots, when you guys get allergy shots, they can only put a certain amount of things that you're allergic to, and I'm allergic to like outside. So they only put like 5 or 6 things in each of those, and each one of those rounds takes 5 years to do, and I've had 3 of them, 3 rounds. So I've had 15 years worth of shots, and every single time cat is in it, because they take the top things you're allergic to. It is not getting better. So anyway, my cats have been like super lovey today, and this eye, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like red and super extra wrinkly. It's getting better. I took I took extra medicine, but I'm just like, guys, I can't right now. And they're like, too bad, Mom, we need love too. And I'm like, fine. So yeah, I've been snuggling the cats a lot because they have been super needy recently. You guys told me that you wanted me to do a pattern organization video, so I will do that shortly because I would like to organize my patterns shortly. Maybe next week. That would be useful. I do want to get on to making the bodice of this dress, but I also kind of need a week where I'm not sewing like solidly, because I've been sewing solidly all week for the last few weeks. So I would love a break, so maybe I'll take a little breaky poo with a pattern organization video. I can show you guys what I've got, which is basically like the Truly Victorian catalog and some others. I wonder how much detail you want though. Like, do you want to see every, like, you can't possibly want to see every pattern because that seems crazy. But I can maybe lay them out and over them section by section, talk about some of my favorites, that kind of thing. And then I have an organizational structure that I like to use, so I'm gonna use it. It was supposedly in that structure, but what ended up happening was I got more patterns than would fit in the way I had it, so I just sort of, it was like in that structure, and then there was 3 other bins that were like, and then here's some more. So I just had to know when I bought the pattern in order to know which bin it was in. Smart, huh? Yeah, that makes things super easy to find. So I am gonna go like basically fix it and figure out a somewhat better system. So I am excited about doing that. What else? Well, much like winter, Christmas is coming. So that's exciting. It's not even Halloween yet and already Christmas is coming. I just like, the last 6 months have gone by like that. So, and also somehow took 25 years. Like, I don't really understand how time works during COVID. So, and I don't really think anyone else does either. So I know that Christmas is gonna be here in like 5 seconds, and I don't, like, I'm was talking with my besties today to try to figure out, like, so they usually travel during Christmas, but they're obviously not doing that. So this is gonna be their first Christmases, like, in our area, not going home to their folks' house and stuff, because they have kids, and usually they take the kids to the grandparents' house for Christmas, and they see their parents, and you know what you do. So they will be home for the first time in a very long time. I don't think actually one set of them has ever stayed in the Bay Area during Christmas. So I was like, well, I don't want this to just suck. So we're trying to figure out if there's a way for us to, like, you know, I'm not even Christian, but I do like holiday stuff, and I do all the holiday stuff. Like, I will do Jewish things with my Jewish friends. I will do, I mean, Ramadan is not now, so I can't really do Muslim things with my Muslim friends. Ramadan's like at the other end of the year in the summertime now, or I guess it's just rolled forward to May, so maybe next year it'll be a little bit more forward. There's a cycle at which they all line back up, all the holidays, the major religion holidays. Anyway, solstice stuff with my Wiccan buddies, stuff like that. So, but also, like, then I got to the point where I was like, well, I don't really want to, like, let Halloween just go either. Like, that sucks. I feel like this year is getting stolen from us. So we're trying to figure out if we can, like, pumpkin patch together, you know, but not together, socially distant, arrive in different cars, stay 6 feet apart, take pictures with pumpkins but far apart, you know, stuff like that. So we're trying to figure that out right now. And I'm glad we are, because I you know, I don't want to just, like, not. And I'm like, what about Thanksgiving? We would have normally we're gone every year at Thanksgiving. That's actually when we travel. Every other year we go to London, and on the off years we go see our friends Morgan and Amber, and they currently live in Maryland, so we're not doing that. So, like, all these things that normally you demarcate with, like, visiting of loved ones in some way or another, you know. And by the way, when I say Christmas, I just mean, like, Christmas time, holiday time, Yule, if you will, that sort of thing. So I'm trying to figure out a way for us to be able to, like, hang out. Like, I don't want everyone to have that time of year is a big deal in my friend group. Not every person, but, like, a lot of the families in my friend group have a different thing that they're in charge of that we all do together, and we do a lot together. So, like, I have a big, you know, holiday celebration party situation, usually the second Saturday of December, and everybody comes over and we make, like, a turkey dinner, and everybody brings some stuff. So it's like international fare, because everyone's, like, different cultures and stuff come. So we have, like, egg rolls and samosas and turkey and gravy, which is super fun. That usually happens, and then we exchange our gifts on that day. So we have like my Christmas, the one that I call my Christmas, is actually, like, that weekend, not December 25th. And then I have another friend who does, like, a caroling party, and we all go over to her house, and she plays the piano and plays Christmas songs, and we sit around in her living room and sing Christmas songs together. I mean, I guess they're not all Christmas songs either. They're holiday songs. Anyway, there's just all these things that we do together. We're not doing any of them, and I just feel like that's gloomy. So I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to figure out ways that we can go do stuff together where we're together but we're not together, so we don't, like, contaminate one another or whatever, but we can have some joy, holiday joy together. So we have this thing in the park by us that's, like, a giant festival of lights. So I guess we're gonna maybe go try and look at that together, because we can be outside and masked and whatever. it's cold, but it's not cold at Christmas time. I mean, it's not cold, but it's cold for us. So, you know, it's like 60 degrees during the day, but I think we could probably sit outside and maybe we could have a fire and some, because we have a fire pit, we could have some hot cocoa and maybe some s'mores, like the little girls can make some s'mores together and stuff like that. So maybe we could have that and I could give them their presents then, just a couple families together. Just trying to figure out ways to like not just let it go. Also reminders that if you do Christmas shopping, you might want to start early because post office delays, blah 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 blah. Oh my god, today was the day that Xboxes went on sale, I guess. My husband is that guy, so he was up at 8 a.m. He did not get one. It's a pre-sale. Like he will get an Xbox. Fear not, my friends. My husband will not go without. But he what happened here? Oh, okay. But yeah, so he didn't get one, so he's been sad all day. But anyway, yeah, so if you have Christmas presents to buy, you might want to start looking around at that while you can, and try to make December as low stress as possible. I am dying to know how Black Friday will go in America because I am already very strongly of the opinion that Thanksgiving should be a day that everyone has off paid, like regardless of your employment status. Like if you are an hourly worker, you should get paid as if you were, like that should be a day off that is paid. I don't know how to make that happen, but I do think everyone should get the day off. I know some people don't want it off actually because they get paid more if they work on that day, and there's all these considerations to every single thing that everyone ever says about everything. And you know, like I'm always wrong, but I hate that Black Friday starts on Thanksgiving and that people have to go to work and they can't spend time with their families or whatever they wanted to do on that one day when they're supposed to be giving thanks. So I hate that. So, and like, if we're on lockdown, can we really have Black Friday sales? Like, are you gonna socially distance the crazy lines and like let only 50 people in the store at once kind of situation? Like, that all seems crazy. I wonder if people have started, I'm sure they have started thinking about this, but I am dying to know how that's all gonna work. I am a digital shopper anyway. I don't ever go in. And my friends and I, some of us do give presents. Like I do give like at least one present to like the people who come to my house for my Christmas dinner. Everybody gets a gift. Like I don't, even if I just met you, you're gonna get a present. But that doesn't mean it's massive or expensive or whatever. It's just thoughtful. But we do also, in my group, a lot of us give donations to each other for Christmas. Or donations to the group. Like we do it in the family party name, and we give donations, and like it's a lot of money, guys. Because I have friends who work at Apple and, you know, Cisco, and who are very high up in those food chains, and so it's not a problem for them to make donations on behalf of the party. And then there are companies, like if you do it on Giving Tuesday, a lot of companies double match it, so they get so if you give $1,000, the place gets $3,000. And in fact, my husband's company does that, and they do it more than once a year. So anyway, we give donations as gifts a lot of times because honestly, we have all the stuff we could ever need. Like, we are spoiled brat people. We are very privileged, like, not just white privileged, we are also very privileged in general. So we like to donate to places and good causes and stuff. So I imagine that there's going to be a lot of that this year, like a lot even more. My wish list is basically, please donate to the Southern Legal Defense Fund, the ASPCA, Second Harvest Food Bank. So that's the food bank in our area. They get a lot of money. My husband loves them. And there's another one that I keep forgetting the name of. where you buy like a flock of chickens or a cow or whatever, and it gets given to a family in need in another country usually, so that they can have sustainable food, right? So like the cow gives milk, or the chickens lay eggs, or you know, whatever. So, or they give sheep so that they grow wool, that kind of thing. Get an ox so it'll help plow the field. What is that called? I'm sure I'll remember it if I will put it on the screen right now. Anyway, so those are the places that we usually donate to, that I like to give to. Also the NAACP and the ACLU and that kind of stuff, because dirty socialists. So Christmas is coming is really what I was getting at, and I've been thinking about it so that I have a plan early. You know my whiteboard, right? So obviously in my phone I have a Christmas list and ideas for people. I'm also the person who starts buying in the after Christmas sales Christmas presents for people for the next year, and I put a sticky note on it who it's for. Like, I'm honestly that person. But honestly, if I find that like either I write I have a notepad that tells me, oh, this person likes this stuff, or you think this is a good, like if I have a good idea, I'll write it down. Or I also have an Amazon wish list that is private, that is gifts for others, and it's just stuff I've found that I think maybe so-and-so would like or whatever. Frequently, I will just buy the thing right when I see it, but if I don't, like I wonder if they're gonna buy it for themselves, and I hate buying presents and then finding out that they've got it. So I use the rest of the year to scope that out. And then I'll buy that stuff. So that's cool. So that is stuff I do for Christmas. I'm thinking I have a list going and it's almost done. I passed it around to a bunch of other people to like give me other ideas, but I'm gonna record a buying guide. It might be more than one video because I think it'd be long, really long actually. Like pre-made stuff and then supplies and stuff, so that you guys have like the information about where all of us buy stuff, like, you know, the lady to tell to where we get fabric online and stuff like that, because people ask me that stuff a lot. So I'm gonna do a buying guide, but I also might do a good like Christmas presents for historical costumers or cosplayers or whatever. So I guess I could just say costumer. I don't have to qualify it. Anyway, so I might do a Christmas buying guide that's like, hey, these are good presents for people. And that will also help a lot of small businesses, because I mean, where I buy stuff from is basically mostly small businesses. So highly recommend buying from other costumers, because they've done the research to know that their stuff they're selling is legit for whatever time period or whatever. So that is the great thing about these small businesses, is they're run by costumers. So, which means you don't have to wonder if you're getting stuff that's good for use or not. So, yay. I was laying there in bed last night looking at my list of things I want to make. Just like, the 400 bustle dresses on my list, like, haunts me. I'm also like, how many YouTube videos about Noelle making bustle dresses are my followers gonna really want to see? And then I hear all your voices in my head going, all of them, please. So I know. I will record every one of them. But I have so much stuff I want to make and so many beautiful things, and I'm like always looking through Instagram and all my friends making stuff, and I'm like, I want one of those to everything. I'm like, I'm so slow, I don't have any time. Like, I've spent a month so far on a skirt. Wait, has it been a month? Yeah, it's been a little bit over a month actually, on a skirt and an overskirt. Cool. Like, how does this take so long? And it's because I'm hand appliquing railroad tracks on here and trying trim and not pushing myself to go fast, and also not, I mean, YouTube isn't a job for me. It's a hobby, but I do actually film probably 4 or 5 days a week. So I do, though, make sure that I take a couple days a week off where I'm not actually filming or sewing, because I think that's healthy. I don't, when I was getting ready for that trip last year, I sewed like every day, and if I took a day off, I felt guilty, and I was like, wow, that's not healthy. So I am actively attempting to not do that to myself because I am supposed to be having a year off, and currently I have 3 jobs. So, I mean, YouTube's a job. Like, I don't think people understand that. Even if it's your hobby, it's your job. Like, especially if you have an upload schedule that is, like, I try to upload once a week. Sometimes I don't make it. Sometimes I'm like, screw it, not doing it. But I do try to do it, and I try to be consistent. But it does, you know, it's not just making a YouTube video. It's also making the thing that you're making the YouTube video about. It's also setting up all the shots. It's also editing, which is a biz notch. I hate editing. So, which is why I don't do it very well. So maybe if I just decided to love editing, maybe I would be awesome. Maybe I would make Bernadette Banner videos. That's not my jam. I just watched her spend days making a video, just editing it. And I'm like, that's why they're so beautiful. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to actually spend my time sewing and talking to you guys and whatever. So it's just a different priority. Anyway, what I was thinking about was just like how much stuff I have that I want to make, and how I have I have a year off. It's gonna be more than a year, just so you guys know. It's more than a year at this point. Anyway, I have this time off, and I have made some of the things. Like, it's not like I'm devoid of productivity, but man, I've made like 3 or 4 things out of the 25 things on that list, and then there's all these other things that are in my head that aren't even on the list because they're not real yet. So yeah, so I think I can take longer off, which is great. Patreon is definitely letting me do that, which I'm really excited about. Speaking of, for people at the like higher levels, I am sending them cards, like thank you cards, whatever. And I got these postcards in the mail, and they are so cute, so I thought I would show them to you. They're like, they're like fashion plates, but they're postcards. So I ordered these on Etsy. I'll try to figure out, I think they're Etsy. Maybe it's eBay, I'm not sure. I'll look. Anyway, wherever I ordered them, I'll link it down below. And they came from New Zealand. I did not expect that. They were super inexpensive too. I think they were like $6 or $7 for a pack, for this whole pack. Like, it was not much money at all. I ordered 2 of them because I was just like, oh wow, these are great. There's one dress in here that I would love to get to. That is just super me. I mean, that one's pretty good. It's green when I get there. That one. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, I really like these postcards. I thought they were super cute, so I'm gonna write little notes to people and send them off with these. So anyway, Patreon is very helpful, and it's gonna let me take more time off work. That's excellent. It's still not to the point where with YouTube and Patreon, I mean, I'm never gonna make as much money as I can in Silicon Valley corporate tech job. But currently, I think I can survive. Surviving is not good, because surviving means if you have a month that's off, or you have any kind of extra need for anything, you're screwed. So that's not a great place to be, but I don't know, Bernadette did this thing where she bought months. So she's like, I can buy February. So she took February, and then she was like, I can buy March. So she took March. So, and this is how it starts. So I don't know if I could ever go full-time with YouTube, but I sure would like to try. I'm getting closer, and that is very exciting. Speaking of very exciting, some email came today that was super exciting, and one of the things that I have always said that I would love to happen with this channel might be happening. And those of you who know and are long-termers know. So we'll see. Maybe in October. But yeah. What are you guys up to? How are you doing? How are things? Are the fires dying down wherever you are? we sent our smoke all the way across the country, everyone's like, oh, you sent it to New York. And I'm like, yeah, we did, but we actually also hit every single state along the way as well. Didn't just like leave California and get on an airplane and fly to New York, which is how people were acting about it. I'm like, it actually affected every state in between there too, which is crazy. So I had friends like leave the state. I had friends who went to Las Vegas and rented a house. Didn't go to casinos or anything, just went to Las Vegas because it had clean air. And I was like, wow, fleeing like refugee status to Las Vegas from the smoke is saying something. Also, if you were in a casino, that's not any less smoke because people are allowed to smoke in there. I hate that, actually. It's one of the reasons I don't like it. I don't like Las Vegas. I go there from time to time because they have shows that I want to see, usually involving Cirque du Soleil, but sometimes other shows, like what I went and saw Britney once. Anyway, I thought I had like nothing to talk about, but turns out I do. I realized the other day I've kissed the Blarney Stone. So that is supposed to give you the gift of gab, which I did get. I think I had that anyway, but I did kiss it. The reason I realized this was because I was reading an article about how they are reopening that attraction, which I'm just like, I'm sorry, what? What are you doing? Why would you be doing that? Yeah, they're opening the Blarney Stone. I don't know if you guys know, oh, I'm gonna pull this one up. I don't know if you guys know about the Blarney Stone, but if you want to smooch it, it's quite an ordeal. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this to you. So you lay on your back, so you're on your back, and you have to stick your head down this hole, which is basically like this, the edge of the ground in the castle is separate from the wall, or there's a hole there, and you get down in that hole, someone holds you, and then you kiss the underside of this rock. Dude, I don't know. I've done it. I did it when I was younger. Anyway, there's this person that holds you, and they were talking about how they change their PPE all the time, and they change their gloves in between each person, and like all this other stuff. But I'm like, why would you? Oh, and they're cleaning the rock. I guess they have some sort of cleaner that will not degrade the rock at all, which I'm like, are you sure? I mean, just the act of cleaning it will degrade it. But anyway, why would you open an attraction like that in the middle of a pandemic? I am baffled. I don't understand. That was what led me to go, oh, this is why I talk so much. I guess the Blarney Stone. That is not why I talk so much. I am just naturally like this, guys. Anyway, I am wondering how you guys are doing, what's going on with you guys. Leave me notes down below what you're watching, what you're listening to, what you're into. Is there any like great television on? Oh, that is a good time for me to talk to you about our sponsor, Acorn. So I'm watching this show called Dead Still on Acorn. It's an Acorn original, and it is amazing. It is supernatural meets Downton Abbey, and I friggin' love it. It's about a memorial photographer in Victorian Dublin, and he gets like mysteries sort of come up and need to get solved around the like people he's photographing, because memorial photographers are people in Victorian era who like photographed dead people with their families because that was a thing. So it is kind of morbid, I'll give you that, but it's amazing. I love the show. The actors are really great. I think it's an awesome show. So I've been watching that and it's really fun. I did partner with Acorn TV again to get you guys a month free access if you would like to check out Acorn TV. It has thousands and thousands of hours of British, Irish, and Australian television. It has all kinds of great stuff on it. It has Miss Fisher's murder mysteries. It has the Miss Fisher movie. It has lots of Agatha Christie, as I showed you guys last time. It has just tons of stuff. There's like all these documentaries that look really cool and fun, and I am enjoying it immensely. I love watching it. It is only $5.99 a month, and so far I have been enjoying the living daylights out of it. Highly recommend. Another really great thing about Acorn TV is that you can actually watch it like kind of from anywhere. You can watch it on, like I watch mine on my Apple TV, but I've also watched it on my computer. I've watched it on my phone. Like I've been sitting here and just like catching up on the rest of an episode, because I'll be halfway through an episode of something and my husband will come to bed, and then maybe I'll watch the rest on my phone, and I'll just switch from my Apple TV to my phone. So it's like, it's really great that it's streaming. Like, I love that streaming products now do that. It's very, very, very convenient. I love it. So if you'd like to check out Dead Still or any of the other amazing features that are on Acorn TV, you certainly can. You can try Acorn TV for 30 days by going to acorn.tv and using the promo code CostumingDrama. So besides that, I'm also listening to Cold Days of the Dresden Files, which I think is book 13. I am slowly remembering that, oh yeah, I was mad at the end of this one because there was a cliffhanger and I had to wait a year and I was super pissed. So I'm really glad that I have the next 2 books after this to read, which is cool. Morgan and I have our podcast, Ladies Who Genre, and that's always linked down below for you guys if you want it. We are going to talk about book 1 of the Dresden Files on the first Sunday of next month, and then it'll just be there forever for you. So if you're watching this in the future, it is there, it exists. And then I think we're doing 2 other books, and then we're going to talk about the last 2 books that have just come out. They're not the last 2 books in the series, but the most recent 2 books, because we were also pumped on reading those. So that's exciting. Someone asked me the other day, like, how we pick our books, and I'm just like, we had a list of audiobooks that we bought but we haven't listened to yet. Like, it's not that strategic. We are trying to, like, mix it up and make sure that we do a bunch of different kinds of books here and there, and we definitely are looking at sort of diversifying our, like, author profiles. Like, we want to make sure that we're including authors that are not just like white males. So we are attempting to add to that through, you know, purposefully, but other than that, like, we don't have a method. Morgan and I are both fairly chill people, although I think my coworkers would say that I'm chill until I'm not, and then I'm not. So we don't really have a, like, a master plan for this. So we do have a list that is like 6 years long. So people keep recommending books to us and I'm like, cool, I'll see you in a few years. Anyway, I'm gonna go listen to said audiobook and maybe actually watch some more Dead Still, because I was in the middle of an episode last night and I kind of want to know how it turns out. So I'm gonna go do that and sew the rest of this on so that it's done, because when it's done, I am done with this overskirt and I'm super excited. A lot of people were talking about possibly putting, like, longer pleats on the bottom. I actually have pleats that are longer. I tried that. I didn't like it, so that's why I nixed it before you guys even saw it. Someone else was talking about maybe doing fringe. That's a possibility. Right now I think I like it the way it is though, so I think I'm gonna leave it and just move on to the bodice. I have to figure out piping and a bunch of other things to do, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'm gonna go sew. All done. Woo-hoo, this only took a week. I think the total on this was like 23 hours or something ridiculous and crazy, but it's done. I'm gonna put it on the dress form so we can have a look at it in its full butt glory. Butt brain and tracks and all of that jazz. Everything that's awesome about this overskirt is in the back, as it turns out. That is okay. We are feature complete on skirts trim. That's very exciting. I'm done. I'm so excited about that. So I think I'm gonna take a break from this and do pattern sorting maybe next week, and then we shall see what happens. Gotta go to the bodice, gotta do a lot of piping. Although it's not really that much, I guess. Like, I think I'm gonna have plenty of material left over, which is great. So the bodice is gonna be a bit fussy because I need to flatline all this tissue taffeta and try not to, like, hork it while I'm also learning how to do a lot of piping. So I'm gonna make some piping samples and stuff. Maybe I'll do some of that next week too. Just get down, like, what I want to do. So I got that smaller cord at one point to try to do even fiddlier stuff, but I haven't actually made piping with it yet, so I gotta have a look. So we shall see. Anyway, I would love to hear from you, so if you guys have stuff you want to tell me, if you're new here, please go introduce yourself because we get bigger and bigger every single week, and that's really excited. So if I haven't met you yet, please tell me who you are and what you're into, and like, do you costume, what kind of costumes, that sort of thing. And if you're not new here, what you're working on, what are you doing, are you watching TV, movies, any of that stuff. I really am sad that Tenet came out in the theater and we don't have theaters here right now, so I couldn't watch it, and that sucks because I love Christopher Nolan movies, so it's really hyped to see that. So anyway, what are you guys getting to go to the theater? So are you listening to stuff, audiobooks, music, any of that stuff? Let me know down below. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week with another video. Bye guys!